guys, Chris from Invesrep here, and long overdue promise that I'm giving you guys today. We're going to convert this into an incubator. The reason I'm a huge fan of these incubators, number one, is they're designed to keep in temperatures. And the only thing we're going to be doing is, instead of keeping cold in, we're going to make it to keep heat in. What I love about these, they've already got provisions for your airflow because they actually designed to circulate cold air. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go step by step. I've got my FlexiWatt heat tape here, I've got my DTC 120 dimmer stat, and my new fan on standby. We're going to show the installation on that later on. But for now, we're first going to rip out the condensator in the top and the condensator and the motor at the bottom. So let me start cracking with that, and then I'm going to show you step by step on how we install all the components on this. Okay, guys, so stay tuned. Thanks.
Okay, so all of this is going to come out with the motor and everything. And then on the top here, you can actually see this is the cowl for the airflow. So the fan will be underneath this.
Okay.
When it blows down, the airflow will be going down the back.
Oh, awesome.
This we will actually take out. We won't be needing this at all. And then we're going to look at the fan in here at the moment, but we might replace it with a new fan.
Okay, hi guys, all right, take two. So just to bring an update on the progression we've done so far before we start inserting our electronics, is we've basically ripped out the entire motor and condensator at the bottom here, the condensation radiator at the top here, and we've taken all the balustrades and lighting out in the top here. So this now leaves space. We've got a main power supply, we've got a computer power supply, and we're going to have a dimmer stat power supply all routed into this section here. And I'll do a close up once we're done with that. Then we've already rerouted the dimmer stat and hygrometer sensor that we're going to mount inside. I'm going to show you exactly where we're going to do that. We're currently spraying the ventilation cowl and the racks. We spray black for the simple reason is, remember, white is for staying cool and cold, and black is for retaining heat. So we try and black out the interior as much as possible. We don't black out the entire interior, but the whole bottom and the sides, we try and darken up, and then everything else, all the loose components, we black out for heat retention. So while that's happening, we're just going to do a good cleanup, and we're going to start inserting, and I'm going to do close-up video of all the components that we've actually inserted and how we've connected them, so you can get a good understanding on how simple it really is. Once you've ripped everything apart, remember at the end of the day, you just want the shell for the insulation. We're building it from the ground up, and once you start, you realize how super simple it is. Although it looks complicated, and you can see I've been developing quite a sweat because of the humidity, but it is still such a fun project and super simple and easy once you start getting into it. The basics of electricity, you just need to know what your positive, negative, and your earth wires, and from there on, everything, funny enough, work out automatically. And once I show you how we connect them at the top here, you're going to fully understand what I mean by that. One thing we have decided on, we're going to use the current fan in here because this unit is so well looked after and basically almost brand new. This thing has got years and years of life in it, and we're not going to risk putting in the smallest fan that might not able to complete the circulation. This fan has been designed for circulation in this. If it does turn out to be a little bit strong, we're just going to put a dimmer stat on it to bring it down a bit on the watts. But other than that, we're doing fantastically well on this build. All right, guys, stay tuned for part 3.
Okay guys, let's go to the heart of the machine. So what I've done, I've taken a connector block. I'm only going to use 3, but I always put 3 extras. If I do want to accessorize down the line with a backup thermostat or anything like that, I can do that. In here, we've got my main power source coming in, and then this is my fan running the incubator. You can actually hear it in the background. We're doing a test run on it now. And then I've just connected my dimmer stat, and then the dimmer stat is connected to my FlexiWatt heat tape going in. And I'm going to tell you now about FlexiWatt heat tape. Amazing stuff. And I've got a computer screen in the front there, and we're doing a test run as we speak. Okay, so this is just to explain the internal. So obviously I've explained the power source. There's the computer running everything, so I can adjust everything from the outside without opening up the doors. I'm going to mention this now in the final comments on why double glazing is so important. But basically, I've got my FlexiWatt heat tape, and I'm going to explain everything on the FlexiWatt heat tape. This stuff is absolute magic. Running all the way to the side, one piece through the bottom, up on the other side. And behind that black piece, normally it's white. We've actually sprayed that black. Everything you can see is blacked out that we can take out and black out and darken and everything for the reason of heat retention. So the fan is behind that, and that cowl actually redirects air. So it goes at the back, circulates at the bottom. There's going to be a cat litter tray full of water here to keep my humidity up. And then here's my sensor with my hygrometer and my thermometer thermostat in here that regulates all my internals. So everything is automated. I don't have to stress on incubating eggs ever again. And then every single rack, because of this ridge over here, it's going to get a little thermostat with a hygrometer, and that probe will actually go into the eggs per rack. So I can actually monitor closer. Because this is a communal incubator, I can't do the probe within eggs and hoping that they're all the same. So I need to monitor them every single time, and that gets done with fine-tuning my thermostat. Okay guys, so we've done the basics of the incubator, the build that we've done, and this build I'll actually classify as a pretty high-end build. You can get away with a simpler bar fridge, anything like that, but as long as you stick to the basics. When I mean the basics, number one is your heat source needs to be enough to compensate on colder, cooler days. And then, yeah, the guys just mind, I've been sweating the whole day, but we got it done. Then air circulation. The reason we do air circulation is that if you've got a set temperature at a certain level, that air circulates, that your top and your bottom is the same temperature. Otherwise, you're going to have thermal layering. So it doesn't matter where your probe is, it's going to read that temperature. Anything above that, with dormant air, is going to be a lot hotter. Anything underneath that is going to be a lot colder. You want the air to be exactly the same where your sensor is. The only way to do that is circulating. Another question I get asked quite a lot is, where do I place the fan? The fan, the best thing is at the top. Of course, hot air rises. You want to put that hot air back to the bottom. So to answer your question, the best place to put your fan is at the top. Okay, so we've done that, and it works a charm. In the old days, my very first incubator, I put it at the bottom, and I realized it took a little bit longer to stabilize because I'm literally trying to change the theory of hot air and cold air. So this one, hot air rises, blows it back to the bottom, and your air stays more constant that way. So it just makes more sense. Okay, on the FlexiWatt heat tape, this stuff is pretty new in South Africa, believe it or not, but it's absolutely magical. I've showed you what I've done is I went down the one side to the bottom to the other side, and it's one panel, and I've got access to about 200 watts of heating in this, and that's quite a lot for an incubator this size. I'll probably need about 80 to 100 watts, but then I'll be putting all my chickens in one basket. So you always want a little bit of heat, but once again, extremely important, run a decent thermostat. If you're not running a decent thermostat, run a backup thermostat on this one. It can be easily be done. You can take it a step further, and this is going to happen to this one as well. Once we do it, I'll bring you updated. We're actually going to build an inverter with a battery pack on this. But if we do get load shedding, there is no fluctuations in my temperature. This thing will just keep on purling along and no issues whatsoever. Okay, so the FlexiWatt heat tape, just in short, it's amazing stuff. You put your clamps on the silver part. You see there on the silver part. You can actually cut this down to size. So in this incubator, we use 2 meters. And I actually saw I overcompensated with this little piece here, and I cut it off. I thought I just want to show you guys this stuff. You got your power, your positive, negative coming through, and it creates heat on these black fins over here. This stuff was actually designed for underfloor heating. And if they can handle the traffic that we put on them in underfloor heating, trust me, it's been proven in the States. And it's picking up tremendous popularity in America for reliability, in South Africa for reliability, especially in racking systems. Have a look at this stuff. You can actually find it at Riptide Racks. I'm pretty sure someone is going to wake up and import some more. At the moment, we've got these guys from Reptorax. Okay, guys, that's the basics covered. If I did miss anything, please let me know. Like I say, you've seen my words today. We've been grafting, we've been sweating, but we've got it done. And we've got a Pearl of incubator running, and hopefully we're going to be incubating a bunch of successful clutches out of this incubator. All right, guys, remember to like and subscribe our channel, and anything I've missed, leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.